name's Mitch Smith. I'd like to welcome y'all to our Mitch Smith Bible Studies YouTube channel. And I ask you, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to us, share us around. And today I'm going to be sharing a dream with you that I had right around January the 30th. And it's one of the craziest dreams I ever had. And but I'd like to get your thoughts and your all's opinions on this to see what you all think of it. So feel free to contact me, and you can reach us through Facebook, Twitter, or here on YouTube, or you can contact me at info.mitchsmithbiblestudy@gmail.com. But here's a dream. I'm going to read it to you straight out of my journal. But it goes like this. It's right around January the 30th of this year of 2022. But it reads as, I remember uh, I remember of being in and at a place that was unknown to me. I can remember that the place I was at had like a type of metal type ground. The metal ground was very smooth. I remember that I was somehow above the metal ground looking down at it, and it extended out as far as I could see. This metal ground, it was just like a floor. Like if you was on top of a balcony or something and you was looking down at it, it looked like a solid structure of a metal floor, and it's about the color of nickel or a little bit darker. But as I read on here, you can see on its own it done some pretty sightful and amazing things. But it says I could remember two other men being where I was, but I didn't know them. As I turned to look towards the direction of the two men that was near me, I noticed them like talking to a robot human or something that was not totally human, and it appeared to be like sitting in some type of chair. I could not hear the whole entire conversation the two men was having with a humanoid type figure. This thing looked human, but not really human. However, it could speak just as good as any human. All I can remember, all I can say is it looked part human and part something else. And the two men kept on talking to this part humanoid. These two other men, I didn't know who they was with me, but as I looked over toward my right, I could see them talking to this thing. It looked like it's part human and part machine, possibly like robotic. And that's the only way I can describe it. But the chair it was sitting in, it looked like a just a chair, normal chair, but it also had metal on it, and it had like small, and some of the areas had like small lights that would light up the chair it was sitting in. But this thing, I mean, you could tell it wasn't totally human. There was something, the word, you could tell it wasn't totally human, like it was part human, part machine, some type of figure. As I continued watching the two men talking to the humanoid type figure, I could tell that something was wrong as I noticed the two men like getting frustrated and aggravated at times. I could see it on there as they was speaking this thing. I couldn't make out the whole conversation, just a little bit here and there, but I could hear them. But I could tell them by the two men's facial expressions they was getting aggravated and frustrated, whatever the conversation they was having with this humanoid type figure. I also noticed the chair the humanoid was sitting in was partially made up of some type of shiny metal with small lights, and partially of the chair was not. Then I noticed the two men and the humanoid turned and started looking at the metal ground, which I too then turned and started looking down and across the metal ground. It's the same metal ground or flooring that I described in the first part of the journal of the dream. And we all started looking at this floor. I mean, it just looked like a floor that you could go down there and walk on. And But I'll read on. It says, I then seen the metal ground without any type of manpower somehow, from ground level rise up on its own and created different size shapes that looked like a city, all made of smooth metal. This metal, however, it was done. It like it's doing it on its own. I mean, like it could shapeshift on its own. I mean, it'd be like one smooth structure, and then all of a sudden in one spot you see like it from its ground level come up, and it make like different structures, like squares, rectangles. I mean, what it does, it created like city structure, like you would look down upon a city, but it was all smooth metal. And then after a few minutes, it'd go back down, and it'd be all smooth metal again. And then a few minutes later, in a different spot, you would see it come up and make like these different type uh, size structures and shapes, and it would look like a city down there and everything. And then it'd go back down. It continuously done this, like in different spots of the floor, the metal floor, or whatever the type of metal it was. All I know is it could do it without anybody down there, and it was doing it without any type of manpower. And it looked like it had a mind of its own, and it was creating shapes on its own. Like it'd be one solid metal, and all of a sudden create some other type of shaped metal. However, it was a doing it, I don't know, but that's what it was a doing. As I continued watching, I seen the metal once again without any type of manpower, then level itself from looking like a metal city back to ground level, smooth metal ground, again all on its own. I then turned looking back towards the two men as they continued to talk to the humanoid. Again, I could tell something was wrong as the humanoid said like error. That's what I could hear it say like error. Error and the others. Whatever it was talking about the others. I don't know. But it says, I'll read it again. It says, I then turned looking back towards the two men as they continued to talk to the humanoid. Again, I could tell something was wrong as the humanoid said like error and the others. Now, I don't know if it was talking, whatever it's talking about, something wrong, but something was wrong. It even said error itself at humanoid. I don't know if it was talking about like others, like it was, or something else. I don't know. I myself really didn't know what it was speaking of or talking about. I then turned again and noticed the metal ground once again without any manpower rise up in a place creating a city like looking city structures and shapes. It stayed this way for a few minutes, then once again without manpower, it lowered itself back down. All I can say is about the metal ground is that this type of metal that was smooth and that looked like a metal ground was somehow able to shapeshift and create shapes and structures on its own and at will with no manpower of any type. I myself have never seen any type of metal do anything like this. It was like it had a mind of its own. I then again looked towards the two men and the humanoid, and I heard the humanoid say and mention the chip. Now, whenever it mentioned the chip, for some reason, how I don't know what I was talking about, but when it mentioned the chip, for some reason in that dream, I knew it was talking something about like a computer chip or something like that. Maybe it was talking about the error of that. I don't know. I could tell once again, though, well, I'll read that part again. I then again looked towards the two men and the humanoid, and I heard the humanoid say and mention the chip. I could tell once again there was frustration with the two men. However, what did the humanoid mean by saying the chip? Then, for some reason, the two men, the humanoid and myself, started looking down and out down and out around the smooth looking metal ground afar off, but this time it made no shapes. However, I could tell, or I could see three men walking on it, coming towards us. Now you got to remember, earlier this metal was doing all kinds of shape shifting, but evidently he was able to walk on, so it had to be solid for these three men to walk on. But it made no shapes. However, I could tell, or I could see three men walking on it coming towards us. I then caught a glance out of the corner of my eye, and I seen the humanoid get up and leave, like in a hurry before the three men got to us. Who were the three men? That's the dream I had. I had a dream of some type of a shape shifting metal. I had a dream of some type of a figure sitting in a chair like a humanoid. It looked part human and part machine. I mean, it was like a robot or something, but you could tell it wasn't totally human. But it could speak as well as human. And the chair it was sitting in had some type of, it looked like the chair had some metal on it and lights that would light up. But evidently, whoever these three men was walking across that shape shifting metal, what I called, I don't know who they was before they got up there. That humanoid left. I don't know where two men left that was talking to. I don't know where they went. And then the dream just ended. So before the three men got up there. But that's the dream I had. If you have any thoughts on this, feel free to share with us. I don't know what all this could mean. Maybe there's some stuff going on that the GOVT's working on or getting ready to. I don't know. Again, I'd like to hear all's opinions on it and your all's thoughts. Feel free to contact us on Facebook, Twitter, here on YouTube, and you can also contact me through email at info.mitchsmithbiblestudy@gmail.com. And if you haven't done so already, I ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share us around and stay updated on more dreams and visions that we have and plus Bible teachings. But I want to say be safe to y'all and God bless to y'all and your all's families. And until next time, be safe.